So here's a question you don't ask yourself every day. Where is the most honky-tonk record shop in Chiang Mai, Thailand? So Chiang Mai is a city with a population in the city of about 120,000 people, 25 to 30,000 of which are foreigners. So it's a lot. Believe it or not, there are 10 different record stores in this city, or at least 10 different places you can go that have records for sale in some capacity. So I've been to a bunch of these. Today I'm going to go and show you how to find the best record stores in Chiang Mai, and for sure to find the one that's the most honky-tonk, right? The one with the most old country western records in it. And there is one. So we will roll it out. Okay, let's get started. We're here in the old city. You see this square right here? This is the old city of Chiang Mai. Okay, this is Mueang Gao, old city, Chiang Mai. Hopefully this is where you're staying on your trip. This is the heartbeat of Chiang Mai. On the outskirts, for reference, we have the Chiang Mai airport here. We have the big shopping centers, Big C, Central, Macro. Some of the temples you can see. This is the mountain over here. On the outskirts, Chiang Mai Zoo, etc. This is where a lot of the elephant sanctuaries and other sightseeing things happen, usually an hour or more outside the city. But we're going to be staying inside the old city for this video, using Zoe in Yellow, the very famous nightclub, most famous nightclub in Chiang Mai, using Zoe in Yellow as our landmark. And then we've got the 5 big record stores, like the places that of all that are listed in the Google search, you could really call these 5 record shops in the true sense of the word. We got these outlined here, and we're going to go check them out. You can see that some are like this one, Ran Pan Siang Chiang Mai, which means record shop Chiang Mai. That is like quite a ways outside the city. So if you have your own car or motorbike, you might want that to get there. And the rest are pretty near. The first one we're going to check out is 30 centimeter records. We're going to go due west and go check out this little shop, 30 centimeter records. Okay, one more thing of note. When you get the list on Google, you're going to get a lot of options here. So to make it easier for you, everything below this line is basically a curios kind of place. Like it's a cafe or a nightclub or a cocktail bar that has records. They may or may not be for sale. They may or may not be playing them while you're there. It's quite an interesting assortment of places. But these are not really like traditional record stores in the true sense. Def Shop, Made in Chiang Mai, First Press, and Frank House. And definitely, by all means, check in with these people by phone or by Facebook, text, to make sure that they're going to be open before you go there, especially if it's in the off season. Right now I'm filming this, it's in July, so it's definitely the off season. I went to Made in Chiang Mai and they were not even open. Didn't sound like they were going to be open for months. And I don't want to make you wait around too long to get to the main meat and potatoes of what we're doing here. 30 centimeter records, all right? Num Tao Phi record. Definitely check with him to make sure he's going to be open. His hours are pretty odd, or a little bit odd, I should say. Wau Lai Record Shop. This is I think the oldest and maybe the most well-known, biggest record shop in Chiang Mai. Very cool. And then we have Ran Pan Siang Chiang Mai, which means Record Shop Chiang Mai. That's the one that's on the outskirts of the city. That's the one that's way over here, okay? So, to recap, 30 centimeter, the first one, Num Tao Fire over here, and then Wau Lai And the last one here is called Tepanter Enterprise. They're located south of the old city, of the fortress, Nung Tau Fire, to the east, 30 centimeter to the west, and then Ran Pansiang, Chiang Mai is really like on the way to Chiang Rai, up where I'm at. So that's on your way out of town. Okay, so we're on our way to 30 centimeter records. We're on the Grab motorcycle using the Grab app. And you can see we got a little journey to get there from Zoe. It's about 10 minutes on the bike going west. Traffic picking up now. It's near 5 o'clock. Pretty cool lighting here right now with the plane going over. Here we are, 30 centimeter records. Yeah. First things first, aircon. Big points for air conditioning. Feels great. We've got some Thai records, indie stuff, and jazz.
Yeah,
A lot of imported stuff from Japan here. Really nice space. Very relaxing. Sabai sabai nakap. And you can hang out here literally with this guy. A lot of really cool looking hi-fi stereo stuff. Vintage looking and some new for sale. Not to be missed if you're in the market for that. A lot of Japanese stuff here. A lot of new records as well. A lot of this stuff is new. So it's going to be a couple thousand baht, 1,500 baht, 2,000 baht for one of these records, most likely. A lot of curios, books, comics, old rotary phones, and so forth. We got this really creepy Michael Jackson album. Cool, erotic comic. And yeah, just a tiny little shop, 30 centimeter records. Overall, super nice guy, really nice vibe. No country records in there for sure, but I picked up a couple to take on the road with me. This Groovin' with the Ventures album, 100 baht. And this guy, I don't know, classical guitar. It was 100 baht. He had a little 100 baht section, so I figured I'd just grab a couple of these, take with me. But be sure to check whenever you're in a position like that, you're just going to grab something. Always make sure to look at the record every time. You know, it's pretty dirty. Okay, next up, we got Nung Tau Fire Records. I have been here once before, I will say. And yeah, you guys might recognize this area of town. This is a pretty busy spot. That's the Hard Rock Cafe right there. There is a walking street in this area, massage parlors, bars, drinking spots. Quite busy, in fact. Cool part of town. This was my first trip there, looking through the oversized records. Yeah, I bought this Fats Waller record there the first time, just a waster, and ended up loving that record. Love it to this day. So that was cool. So he has a lot of these oversized movie posters, Japanese. I mean, really cool. They're huge. These huge oversized movie posters. This is from my first trip there. A couple pictures that I had taken. And we're arriving now at this, it's on a little intersection. And a couple of restaurants just before we get to it. We're going to walk right down this street on the same side of the street. We're going to go straight. A couple of shops in, what's that, a cafe, a little restaurant. There's actually a cafe here called Join with aircon. That's a good place to grab a coffee before or after you're heading in there. And here it is, basically. No sign. But I noticed this on my way out. First time I ever saw that. Very, very small signage. Nung Tau Fire, second floor. But aside from that, you'd never know you're going into a record store because you're not. You're going into a used clothing store. a lot of people in there, by the way. Very popular spot. You see this door at the back here? That's the door we're looking for. We're going to go right through that door, head up a few more flights of stairs to find this very well... What the hell is that? I have no idea. That's cool. But this very well-hidden record store. This is the most well-hidden record store I've ever been to. It's almost like they didn't want you to find it. I don't know. That guy's just sitting there. And this is cool. Tapestry. Whatever this is. It would cost a fortune. Clearly 4,500 baht. But yeah, I wish I had it. Okay. Easily distracted here. I am. Gonna stop and look at everything, I guess. Because everything looks cool. That's why. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Yeah, very distracted today. So, this door, this is what we're looking for. This is our record store. Okay, so that's how you find Wau Lai Records. You go through all that to get here, and now we'll open the door and walk in and see how we're greeted. All right. Tremendous. Tom Kian Facebook. Yeah. Just a tiny little shop, as you can see. Ton of 45s. Everything well labeled. Very easy to sort through. You're not going to really find any country records here. I found this. This is a compilation. Yeah, but this is a lot of these Molam, Isan style. This is actually country music in Thailand. This is what's considered country music. That doesn't mean it's got steel guitar on it or anything. I'll try to explain that at some point later. Yeah, Buddy Holly record here, just looking through. Now I saw this the first time I was there, and I wanted it then, and I still want it, but I just can't pay for that. I can't afford to just get everything I want. But Glenn Fry, the heat is on, baby. Yeah. Wicked looking record. Japanese import. Very cool. Hey, we found a country record. Look, it's Porter Wagner, Green Gay Grass at Home. Pretty common record. Terry Gibbs. There were more Terry Gibbs albums, and she's a lady, if you were wondering. Look at that. I'm a lady. Anne Murray, Terry Gibbs, a plethora of their records all over the world. You can't go into a record store without finding a Terry Gibbs record. So she put out a lot of vinyl, evidently, or a lot was produced of her stuff. These are those oversized movie posters I was describing earlier. That's right. We don't need to spend all day here looking at these, though. We can move on. I think the theme for this shop, I've discovered, is black music, more or less. A lot of black music, a lot of black artists, pop, jazz, 80s stuff, but yeah, just a lot of black music. If that's what we have Thelma Houston. So if you're into that, and of course not black music, we have Kenny Rogers, Coward of the County. I like the look of these 45s. I don't often see 45s that have the cover art with them, so I'm seeing a lot of that on this trip, and that makes a 45 much more desirable in my opinion. I absolute ton of 45s here and a lot of Thai stuff. This box here is all Japanese stuff, which I don't know any of these artists, but Japanese clearly very good at marketing sex appeal, because every one of these 45s looks sexy. And so, yeah, these, I mean, they're all look like great records. I don't know what any of it sounds like, but cute looking. Okay, so I found this one album. It's a 10-inch. It's a Japanese album called Haunted Guitar. And I think that's what I'm going to take with me today for my one record. It's a colored vinyl. 10-inch record. So that's cool. One last look here at Wau Lai Records. His name is I. All right. Okay, so that was Wau Lai. Next up, we're going south to Wau Lai Records. First time I was there, I picked up this Hank Wilson album. Look at this. Hank Wilson's Back, one of my all-time favorite records. Talk about that in another video at some point. So I picked up that record the first time I was here, so I already know that he's got some honky-tonk stuff here. This is a department store that you can park here, essentially, if you come here with a car like I did. There's a nice sign telling you not to park there. And if you're still lost, you can look for the sacred cows that are all pimped out. They're right in the center. And there's our shop with the smiley face. That's the shop we're looking for there. And what's that? Okay. So this is a cool-looking cafe that is never open any of the times I've been here. So let's just go to the shop, maybe get that over with. Let's look at the cows again. I'm doing the narration in post here. It's a little less humiliating for me that way, rather than going to all these stores and blabbering on into the microphone. Wau Lai Sidewalk. All right, guys, look, this is the most honky-tonk record store in Chiang Mai. Spoiler alert. Check this out. This is a real deal. You can see this is a real deal record shop. This is like classic, like everything. You could spend all day in here. T-shirts, old tour shirts, huge sections of every genre listed. Nothing's in alphabetical order though, so you're going to spend a little extra time sorting. We got the posters everywhere. Just cool place, super funky. This was a section that was suggested to be country, folk, southern rock. I guess that's what it looks like, right? Sort of, kind of. Not really, some of it, but mainly I'm here looking for honky-tonk, country western records. Hey, there's a metal section, some hard rock. I don't know about Loverboy being hard rock, but this was in a hard rock section. And I always look to see if there's a rock section. I used to be a big metalhead. Well, I guess I still am. Whitesnake. But finally we find our country folk section. There it is. There's a few sections throughout the store that have country folk records. And that was one key location. This is a really cool record. Merle Travis and Johnny Bond. Like, that's awesome. I think. So, a ton of country western records here. And this is the one for you if you're looking for honky-tonk music. Our man Ricky Skaggs. This is a Leon McAuliffe record, which is 350 baht. And this is the ultimate sign here. If you see a Pete Drake and his Talking Steel guitar album, you know that you're in a shop with some legitimately cool stuff. I Went to Your Wedding. Great album title. Great shot of Nova Scotia, Canada's Hank Snow there. E.T. getting in on the action here. We've got a couple E.T. records. This one looks kind of cool. And then a lot of Mor Lam. Mor Lam is a style of Thai music that is country music. It doesn't have steel guitar or fiddle in it, but it's very noodly, traditional sounding countryside music. Very cool. If you can stomach it, if you're into that kind of thing. Got a listening station here. Huge jazz section. Met this lady from China. She was cool. Big section of 400 baht Thai records. Mor Lam stuff, Thai pop. Blang Thai, generally speaking. If you go upstairs, there's also a thrift shop included on the second floor. So really great place. You really got to come here and check out Wau Lai Records. Tie-dye shirts, we've got cowboy hats, we've got Wrangler jeans, a lot of vintage denim and stuff. This little rug on the wall. So yeah, you have to come here when you come to Chiang Mai. And of course, this amazing green fridge, which is for sale. Check out these two Hank Williams Jr. tour jackets. I became obsessed with them during my trip to this shop and couldn't stop thinking about them being there and how I might have to leave without taking one of them with me. This is a Japanese import 45 of Hank Williams. I really can't think of anything more cool than that at the moment. 900 baht, so I'm not going to buy it. 600 baht for Rough Boy, ZZ Top, Japanese import. Super cool. Definitely not in my budget today. We got a Tanya Tucker Japanese import. Would be cool to have as well. Because that is... it's just always cool to see Japanese import country stuff. I mean, it's kind of like an oxymoron. Seeing it together on the same covers is super cool. Looks like a cool record. There's a pile of records I put on the... I basically put those down when I came in to let him know I was going to buy something so I could get away with filming and taking photos. He wants 4,500 baht for that jacket, which, to be fair, I mean, it's probably worth that, but there's no way in my lifetime I'll be buying it probably at that price. A lot of stuff here, so you definitely got to come check out Wau Lai Records. A bit of a curmudgeon, the guy that runs the place, I'll be honest. He can be super friendly. Honky-tonk stuff we got. Or super not, depending on his mood. Just put it where you can see it. I thought this was cool. Ernest Tubb, a good year for the Juan. And I don't know, I just never seen this Ernest Tubb record before. Song I bought, 200 baht, so that's going to be, so it's about $6 or $7 I paid for it, really, it's not much. Now, it was made in 1970. So part of the reason I bought this is because I'm hoping that I might hear some interesting production sounds that I haven't heard before from the Ernest Tubb catalog. So I'm just kind of wondering like who played on this record and what's the production sound like. 1970 is kind of an interesting year. He did start to put stuff out in the late 70s, early 80s that sounded pretty, well, you know, not amazing. This is produced, check this out, produced by R. Kelly, 2004. And there's some instrumental and an a cappella version of it. So that was kind of a waster. Anything, I consider a waster anything less than like $6 that you buy just for the sake of saying you bought something at the record store. This was my official waster that I bought was a Hank Lachlan. Because it's 100 baht. That's not very much. It's like $4 Canadian. So if I didn't buy anything else on the trip, then I would have just picked up what I call a waster, where you just pick something up, make sure it's not all scratched up, make sure it's going to play, but something that you don't need, but something you can take home with you as a memento and say, oh yeah, think about that record shop every time you pass through this in the collection. And this is the last one. Now, I don't know about you, I just thought that was a pretty interesting looking Glenn Campbell record. Like I've never in my life laid eyes on this record before. I didn't know at first if it was a Christmas album. He's kind of got the Ronnie Millsap look going on there, sitting at the piano. I don't know. 1975. And it wasn't very expensive, and it's in good shape, very good plus. And also it's a Japanese import, so it's just his hits. But like, hey, his hits are his hits. Oh, he's also doing Lovesick Blues. Check that out. Side 2, track 5. 6. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, track 5, Lovesick Blues. So there you go. That's worth the price of admission. It's only Make Believe. He's doing that, side 1, last track. So, and then of course we got Gentle on My Mind. Who knows, you know, what kind of version of Gentle on My Mind he might be doing. And his other hits are there. So, I mean, yeah, why not? Just an interesting looking record. I've never seen it. It's a Japanese import, Capitol Records. So yeah, moving on. I wanted to show you what I picked up. Clearly, I was very Excited about that. We're going out of town now. On our way back to Chiang Mai, we're going to head into Ran Pan Siang, Chiang Mai. It is not this building. Because if you're just using the Google map to get here, you're going to get it right around here and you're going to be looking to left and to right. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And that's not it. You got to go a little further. It's this house right here. The first house with the little trees in front and the big sliding iron gate. That's actually where the record shop is. FYI. All right. Enough already. We're walking in. Here's the gate. There's a little dog gonna run up and meet you as you come in here. You can see this is right in someone's house, clear as day. So that's the main vibe that's super different about this shop is you're in someone's home and they basically have to open it up for you. But it doesn't take away from anything because it's still a really nice medium-sized record store with a lot of hi-fi stereo equipment for sale. If that's something you're looking for, especially this would be the shop for you. A lot of classical records here and some old Thai stuff on the first floor. Now these here are just sleeves, okay? So these are sleeves that have no record in them. The record's been lost. And she's asking just 100 baht for these. So this would make kind of a great takeaway if you're traveling and you don't want the fragility of carrying a record around with you on your vacation. Just grab a sleeve and you can just cram it in your suitcase and not worry about it. We've gone past the recording studio. We didn't really talk about that. We're on the second floor now. She's looking for country records for me. She's handed me Simon and Garfunkel. But I did find this on my own. This is it's a great record, Ring of Fire, Dressed to Johnny Cash. But you're not going to find country records here, really. No, you're not really going to find. You maybe a hand, maybe 5. In fact, I'll show them to you if we find any. Rock stuff. This is like really someone's collection, you can tell. I'm not sure anybody's looking for Beach Boy instrumentals. Not sure about that. That's cool though. Cool cover. I did find a hard rock rather section, which I always look at as well because there's a few metal and hard rock records I like, or I would like to take with me if I could find them. And yeah, a lot of jazz, a lot of pop here. A lot of jazz, pop, and soul, and a lot of Thai records. And when I say Thai records, I mean this is kind of like the more lam stuff, the country Thai stuff. Very eclectic. Well, here's what it sounds like. I'm not sure what you think of that style. I like it. Check out this Top Gun Japanese import. That's cool. Tony. This guy's name is Tony. And he's apparently doing country music. No, he's not. I listened to it. There was no country music on it. Not the kind that, not honky tonk. This just says Plang Thai on it. So it's just Thai music and that. It's probably Thai pop. Hey, we did find a country record. Look at that. A lot of 45s to look through with the artwork again. So yeah, a lot of that on this trip. It's pretty cool. Agnes Chan, she's cute. I don't know who she is. I don't know about this, but I regret not buying it because that's just amazing, whatever it is. Picture disc, 7-inch picture. I don't know what that is. That's cool. I want to tell you guys also that, worth noting, they have a Beatles section. So they have a whole section dedicated towards the Beatles. So if you're a Beatles fan, you got to come to this record shop for sure. You know that now. And a lot of imported stuff from Japan for the Beatles. Here's the lady that owns the shop. She doesn't speak a lot of English, I will tell you that, but she's very, very nice. Not a lot of negotiating, not a lot of price dropping there. I did try to negotiate a bit, but... All right, I'll show you what I got here at the record store, Chiang Mai, and next studio. There's also a studio in there, a recording studio, which I didn't get into showing video of, but here's the records that I picked up. I also just want to point out for a second, before I go any further, that in terms of the prices for these shops, I did find that this shop here was the most expensive, in my opinion, of all the shops. And I would say that Wau Lai Record Shop, the really honky-tonk one, probably the most reasonable across the board in terms of pricing, because you could get a few deals there. You could find a deal on a few things, and they seem to have frequent sales. But the other shops, the prices were pretty high, and they look like they're staying there. So just, I had to point that out for you. Okay, let's go on, listen to this. Yeah, I really just wanted a waster, and this would have been the ideal waster in there. I actually don't own a Buddy Holly record. So this is Buddy Holly's Hits. It's got a cool look to it. Coral Records, I don't know much about that, but 300 baht, so the price was pretty good, and it plays. I'd say it's like very good condition. And so that would have been an ideal waster, 300 baht. It's not too bad, right? It's like 10 bucks. It's about $5.50 for this. Eye of the Tiger, mostly because it's got Mr. T on the cover. Nice shot of Mr. T. And this guy, Narak Mak. This guy in it with the gap, with the side gap here in his teeth. So that might be cool. And this one's playable. She told me that this one was playable, so the condition's all right. And I'm thinking like, yeah, man. So altogether, a little more than I probably should have picked up, but man, you only live once when you're buying records. And some cool collectibles, some cool curios, some cool mementos, whatever word you want to use, to take back to Chiang Mai. So that's that. Those are the top 4 record stores in Chiang Mai, in-depth, up close and personal. Would have been nice to feature more of the characters, the shop owners, but I didn't necessarily get the vibe that they really wanted to talk on camera. And then there's the language barrier, and my Thai, while I can speak Thai and read and write, it's nowhere near being on point enough to give an in-depth interview on camera. So you can go talk to them yourself, basically. Bangkok, I also have gone to Bangkok and done some filming there, so I'll put that up next. Let me know in the comments if you've ever bought a record in Thailand before, if you've ever bought a record in Chiang Mai, if you've ever been to any of these places, even if you've ever been to Chiang Mai and didn't know about all these record stores. And what do you think about the idea of buying a souvenir record on your vacation, on your trip to Southeast Asia? And of course, if you enjoy these videos, you can click the like button, click subscribe. Of course, that's awesome, because if you do that, then the YouTube algorithm will more often than not pull my videos into your feed and recommend them for you. Job done, just like that. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So thanks, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.